Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Oh, yeah. So does the winner go first?
That was cute.
Let the record show.
Good evening, board. My name is Mina Farmer. I'm a senior and the recently elected student representative for YCHS. First off, I want to express gratitude towards the district for allowing YCHS ASB in leadership, for allowing us to attend the CATA leadership camp at UC Santa Barbara. It was truly an amazing experience that we'll never forget. The camp provided us with so many valuable tools and skills I know that we will be using in the future. We learned to communicate more effectively, we learned how to work better in teams, and we learned valuable team building skills. We also had the opportunity to network with other students in our state. More than 30 schools also went to the camp. As well as it was a great way for us to learn from them and share ideas with them. Overall, thank you again for the amazing experience. We really appreciate it. First week of school went really well for us. We held a rally on the first day of school and introduced a class competition system to get more students involved. We also have started to put on games during lunch to encourage these students to participate in our class competitions. Friday, we also had a senior sunrise. For the seniors, we played games, music, and took a bunch of photos. We're looking forward for our first home football game on Friday and Club Rush in the next 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
We also have a letter from Nat Lynch, who is the ASB advisor. And you also,
Oh, these are very nice.
Yeah.
Well worded.
Yes.
Good evening to the school board. I just want to start off by reintroducing myself. I know I did come a few weeks ago, but I'm Smee Handel. I'm the newly elected RVHS school board rep, and I'm really excited to be doing that this year. I think it's an amazing opportunity. Again, I also wanted to thank the school board for letting River Valley go on our leadership retreat. We went to Lake Tahoe, and it was such a success. We all had so much fun. We did so many workshops such as conflict resolution, event planning, team building, but we were also able to bond with each other through lake days, campfires, and it was just so much fun, and it started off the year in a great way. We were able to plan for the first day of school, in which we held a rally, and it was just a fun way to welcome the freshmen and welcome back all of the other grades, as well as lunchtime activities such as like a blown up basketball, just those little party things. And we also had our students visit the principles of PRIDE, which is positivity, respect, integrity, determination, and excellence, in the first day, just to show them what we as River Valley want our school culture to be. And we introduced our new kind of slogan, GIVE, which is just about giving yourself grace, giving your others grace, giving others time, energy, and it's just about giving. And we really hope to implement that within our school community as well. Today, we just had picture day, so we're all dressed up from that. And we're planning for our upcoming Club Rush, which will be this Thursday and Friday. A lot of new clubs have signed up, which we're really excited for, whether they're academic-based, social, or community service. We're excited to be able for the students to have a wide variety of clubs to be a part of. And we are now planning for our upcoming homecoming, which is going to be at the end of September. We've thought of a road trip to New York City type of theme, and it'll be really fun. We're really excited for that. And to kick off our fall sports, which you can see I came in my golf outfit in, I just came from practice, but we had our first annual Meet the Falcons dinner 2 weeks ago, where the cheer and football team came together to serve dinner to the community. They'll continue doing this family-style dinner every Thursday to encourage team bonding and increase camaraderie and community ties. Also, a good news, our RV tennis girls won against Nevada Union last week. They won the majority of their matches, and we're extremely proud of them for that. And we're excited for our first home football game next week. And we're hoping for this fresh start to just boost our school community and culture, really. And we're excited for what the new year, what lies ahead of us. Thank you so much.
Comments from the public on items not on the agenda? I believe we have none. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Are there any questions on the consent agenda? If not, could I have a motion on the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve.
On a motion by member Damian, a second by member Core to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to action 11A, first reading for proposed revisions.
Thank you. I bring forward new board policies for September and December for a first read. They will come back for us for action the next board meeting. If you have any questions about those policies as you're using them, just let me know.
So then, yes, my question is, so the first read isn't a read. Are we reading through them, or are you just asking for questions?
Well, well, it is an opportunity to have you look at them, and if you have questions, but there'll be an opportunity at the next meeting also if you have questions.
Because I have questions.
Okay.
But I don't want to get out of turn if you're going to go through each one of these and talk about them.
No, we don't generally go through each one of them. It's usually if any of the board members have questions.
I know Greg wanted to be right. So just kidding. All right. So, yes. Okay. So, a question with regards to, actually, this is kind of an umbrella question. And I didn't know if you did this just to help us. Okay. So I'm on your September. If you're in Granicus, September policy, as an example, it's page 9 of 76. So, for example, this is the suspension dismissal of probationary employees. You have option 1, and then option 1 ends here. You've crossed out in option 2. And I noticed this throughout many of the policies. And obviously, if there's only one option, we don't need to stipulate this is option 1, right? Because it's the only option. There isn't another one.
Well, if there's an option, there's generally option 1, option 2, and sometimes there's a third option.
Right, but the option 2 is crossed out.
Which means that the recommendation from staff is option 1. And
yes.
You should be able to, or they should still have the option 2 included in the.
But it's crossed out.
Right. We left the other 2 options so you could see what they were.
Okay.
And option 1 is what's recommended by staff. And quite often that's because that is the option that applies to our district, not all 3 options.
Which in most cases I saw that. Was it was an ADA or the fact that we don't have that department.
And the current it's the current option that the district has been operating under, or our practices, because that's some often will be options based upon how your district operates.
Okay. And so, but in the final revision, obviously, we're going to edit that option 1. Okay. And then my other umbrella question regarding, yes, there it is. Thank you. All of them, which is, I couldn't help but notice that, thank you again for the law notation, as well as the date the law went into effect. So thank you so much for that. I couldn't help but notice on many of these, the law went into effect like 2 years ago. So, or 1 year ago. A lot of these are 2021, but it's said it's a new law. For example, I'm looking at bargaining units. Policy updated to reflect new law SB 270, which was enacted in 2021, allows district 20 days, et cetera, et cetera. So my question is with regards to keeping up on this so that when laws go into effect, we're able to put them in a timely manner.
So I think that's referring to the date that it was introduced. Legislation.
Right, so
then it wouldn't be a law unless it's signed.
Because probably not signed now.
Right, so sometimes there is that delay, and so these come forward. So we're up to date based upon
Okay.
when things have to be implemented.
Okay,
So that's why they're coming forward now, so the implementation, and you'll see sometimes a law may have been passed in 2021, but doesn't come into effect until
right,
July 1 of 2022,
Right.
kind of thing.
okay,
So,
good. Well, that's good. I wanted to make sure that that
yes.
was done in a timely manner. Okay, and I do have notes on something else, but I have to access my bookmarks. Please, could we play some elevator music here?
We're all staring at you.
Yes, okay, here we go. All right. And I saw it addressed in the index. But if you're on Granicus, still in September, page 59 of 76, this is high school graduation requirements. Now, when I look into the, and it's page 5 of 7 on your index, if you're on the index, notice on the AR policy updates, it was saying it's deleted, right? I'm looking at the temporary adjustment requirements for the 2020-2021 school year, say that 10 times fast, due to COVID closure. And that's still in there, right? Why?
So the recommendation was that we keep that in place so that it was just noted as to why there was an exception during that time of COVID where the graduation requirements were kept in place. So if someone were to look through our policies and said, why did the graduation requirements in that year look different? That's the notation that would be referenced.
I see. Okay. Well, then my suggestion would be to, instead of have that at the top of our high school graduation requirements, making it look horribly outdated, is to have it as a footnote in the policy, like pertaining to this, this was the, for historical accuracy, rather than at the big part, like high school requirements, and then the first thing you really read is about 2020, 2021.
So you'd put it after honorary diplomas on page 61.
At the very bottom.
Yeah, it's a footnote, or yeah, if that's the only reason it's there for,
It is for historical value.
then that's where it makes most sense to do. Anybody?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President. No, I really don't have a lot, okay? There are no dumb questions, right?
No.
Thank you. Okay, so
I didn't hear.
don't scare the crowd. All right, page 64 of 76. Oh, no, you already answered that one. See, look, you're answering questions that you didn't even know I was gonna ask. Okay. And that was something I just didn't know. Okay, no, I've got no further questions.
So they'll come back for my board meeting.
The prostitution rep. Or
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're hilarious.
Moving forward to 11B student cases. Can I have a motion on the student cases?
I make a motion we approve as discussed in the session.
second.
Oh, we got 3 ways. Aye. Okay, on a motion by member Dami and a second by member Pretty to approve as discussed in closed session. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving forward to 11C, approval of the Assistant Superintendent of Business Services.
Yes, so as we've been working to revise the contracts for the assistant superintendent so that there is some consistency in those, I bring forward, Mr. Bentley received a positive evaluation. I bring forward his new contract that aligns with the other assistant superintendent's contract. This would place him on the new salary schedule on step 5 based upon his past experience in the amount of $210,470 and with an increase of $25,070.
Thank you. Are there any questions on that? If not, can I have a motion to approve?
So motion.
Second.
On a motion by member Ciociola and a second by member Lamb to approve the contract. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving forward to 11D.
Yes, so this is the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services for Florentino Guzman. There was a revision that needed to be made because of Juneteenth. There are now 23 holidays versus 22. That's all there is. And also just make sure that all three contracts are in alignment. So there was just some minor revisions, no changes to the salary or compensation.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
On a motion by member Dami and a second by member Ciocciola to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving forward to 11E, superintendent compensation. The superintendent received a satisfactory evaluation from the board for the 22-23 school year. Pursuant to the agreement, section 3D as amended, the superintendent is entitled to a 3.5% increase to base salary effective July 1st, 2023. Following the satisfactory evaluation, the financial impact of this increase will be $8,314. Are there any questions on that? If not, could I have a motion to approve?
So motion.
A second. On a motion by member Ciocciola and a second by member Quilty to approve. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving forward to board reports, information / discussion. The government liaison committee meeting was canceled. Were there any other charter meetings or committee meetings to report out of?
I did go to Twin Rivers Charter School. They were able to get the first day was a success. They talked a lot about the parking and how there was a lot of parents that came the first day and how far away they had to park. But overall, the staff was super excited for the changes and the start of the new school year. So, yeah.
Thank you. Any other report outs? No? Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm assuming that some of the committees, like I'm on graduation committee and different things, are those slated to meet at any time? That would probably be you.
Yes, we're gonna start there, the meeting graduation meeting. Yes. I can see.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right. Written communications from the public, we have none. And comments from employee representatives, I see Mercedes. It's fast. She's hiding behind the podium. Oh no, she's right there. I see her. I didn't see her.
Good evening. Wow, this is the best board meeting ever. I don't know if I'm going to be that quick. So good evening, board members, staff, and community, and everybody out there on Zoom. I'm Mercedes Geraldo. I'm the president of the CSCA Chapter 265, and I represent nearly 800 classified workers here in the district. As you know, our ratified reopener agreement for last year was for the last year of our 3-year contract contained a Me Too clause. This was specifically for the 22-23 school year. We understand that YCTA was bargaining for a total of 2 years, but since our 3-year contract ended in 2023, we were not able to negotiate outside of that time frame. The CTA contract specifically stated that they would receive 11.5% raise for 22-23 and a $5,000 bonus per FTE, prorated down. They separated out the 2 years in the agreement very clearly on what was 22-23 and 23-24. On June 14th, the district gave us an offer for an additional 4% on the salary schedule, bringing our 7.5% raise up to 11.5%, thus matching CTA's agreement to the salary schedule for 22-23. They offered us an additional 3.5% to the already 3% bonus, bringing that to 6.5% on a bonus. The reason was that $5,000 is 6.5% of the certificated staff's uniform hourly rate. We disagreed with that calculation. The calculation might be right, but the language specifically said $5,000 per FTE. And so we have a disagreement here. Yesterday, we met with the district, and they stated that they wanted both parties to sunshine for the 23-26 successor contract, negotiate the 1 year so that they can make sure that we are in alignment with the CTA's 23-24 of no additional raises unless there's contingency language. And we're okay with all that, other than we should not have to reopen a contract in order to get our Me Too clause. We're not prepared for that, and that's not okay, and that's going to delay our members' retro pay. So this is really not okay. And this is, in a sense, of regressive bargaining when you say, you give me an offer and then you say, wait a minute, we're not ready to do that until we go and negotiate another contract. So that's really not okay with us. We want what our Me Too says. We want to enter into negotiations positively. At one point in a phone call that I had, it was, we're not going to be able to do this on a handshake and a promise. Well, that was really an insult to my integrity. My handshake and promise means something, and I stand behind that. Now, I understand there's business. I do get that. But to say that to me, that we cannot go, we can't process our B2 because we can't go into further negotiations, it's just really not okay. So I do ask the board to direct the district to bargain with us and give us our fair share. That's all we're asking. We're not asking for more, we're asking for our fair share, and in a timely manner. My workers, a cafeteria worker at 3.8 hours working basically minimum wage, they make about $10,000 a year. I think I heard somebody's raise is $8,000 a year. So that raise is almost one of my workers' salaries. They need this money. They need it bad. We're struggling in, we're on what, our second and 2.5 weeks of school. We're working, we're getting the work done. Everyone is, and I'm not saying anybody's working any harder or anything. I know our teaching partners are working just as hard as everybody else with what seems like lack of communication. All of a sudden we get new boards in rooms that have been repurposed out of other rooms that we didn't even need those boards. Now we can't use the whiteboard that we needed to use because we have a smart TV that doesn't even have all the equipment with it, doesn't have the pens with it. We don't know how to use it. That doesn't do us any good, right, in the classroom. And when I say us, I mean the teaching staff as well as the support staffs that are in those classrooms. Our libraries show up with rows and rows of Chromebooks. If anybody's been to Yuba City High, and I know Shelley will attest to this, the library is like this maze of books. And now we have all these Chromebook carts because we're giving out Chromebooks to everyone that aren't charged. Math classes need Chromebooks every day. They brought us Chromebook carts now to charge those in case the kids don't have them charged. But those Chromebook carts were set up so that they charge so long on the top shelf and then so long on the bottom shelf. So if you plug it in the wrong one, you plugged in something that's not charged. So this is the kind of thing that we are dealing with every day. Our classified workers, they're frontline, they're answering the phones, they're getting yelled at by parents, there's a lot going on. And then to have this blatant disrespect is just not okay with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
Sorry, I'm still slow. Hi, good evening, board members, the audience, anybody out there, and staff. I'm Dina Lukens, president of the Yuba City Teachers Association. Today was the 10th day of instruction at our schools, with the exception of Albert Powell and IA. For them, it was the 11th day of instruction. We've begun the year with enthusiasm and lots of hard work that went into preparing to be ready for our students on that day. YCT is continuing to gather data as we listen to our members for what are the areas of strength in our opening this year, and what are the areas that we can all reflect upon that we might want to do differently in the future. We'll bring you data along the way as we continue in the dialogue of how can we get better at this? Because it's all about giving our best to our students. Some of the things that have happened in this beginning of the school year has required some flexibility on the part of staff. And I think we've got amazing teachers that step up and do what they need to do. I want to highlight a few of those for you. There was a brand new first grade teacher at Bridge Street Elementary who, because of the unpredictable nature of kindergarten enrollments, moved from Bridge Street to April Lane. I was at April Lane today, just so happened. She's getting settled in. We'll start in her classroom with her students in the next couple of days.
but wow, that's quite a switch to make after the first day of school. But she's stepping up, she's doing it. And fortunately for us, she's got years of experience behind her. She moved up here from Fresno. So good for us that she's not a first-year teacher who had to step into Bridge Street to April Lane switch. We also have another experienced teacher who volunteered to move. She moved from Lanecrest, where she taught for about 20 years, to Park Avenue to be their intervention teacher. Now, this is awesome news for Park Avenue. Our students of highest need at Park Avenue haven't had an intervention teacher because of the challenges of filling vacancies in these times. But because of the flexibility of enrollment in kindergarten at Lanecrest in this case, they needed a volunteer for one of those vacant positions. So she volunteered to go to Park Avenue. This is great news for Park Avenue. They've got a highly experienced teacher who's enthusiastic, and despite the fact that this wasn't what she planned on doing when she prepped her kindergarten classroom for day one, and then on day two was like, let's shut it down. But she's doing it. She's doing it with a smile on her face. She's doing it with enthusiasm. So again, great people working here at Yuba City Unified. And then finally, again, due to the fact that our TK kids and our K kids don't always show up in the numbers we anticipate, transitional kindergarten, for those that aren't know, teacher at Park Avenue, they didn't have enough kids at TK Park Avenue, so she has moved to kindergarten at Park Avenue because they had too many kids at kindergarten at Park Avenue. So again, YCTA knows that we worked with the district in a way that honors and values the contributions of employees and their willingness to be flexible and step up to do what we need to do, take care of the kids that we serve here in Yuba City. And finally, to the personnel department, they've been busy. Yuba City has filled most of the vacancies in Yuba City. Perhaps that June settlement of ours that significantly increased the salary schedule and offered a substantial signing bonus played a large role in Yuba City being able to fill almost all the vacancies. There remain 5 vacancies at K8. Not too bad. And for the most part, they include some middle school vacancies, some intervention positions, and my count may be slightly off because the district just added a few new intervention positions. Some of the vacancies are middle school, and I gotta tell you, I taught middle school. It's hard work. Middle school kids, they're a challenging populations of students, and I, as I no longer teach middle school, I give my middle school colleagues the most props because they still love those kids at the end of the day. But then again, so do our kindergarten teachers and our teachers of seniors. And then finally at 9-12, there are a limited number of vacancies. Most of those vacancies were filled by teachers, again, who stepped up. Who said, all right, I'll sell my prep period and I will teach without a prep at the high school level so that students will have a credentialed teacher in the classroom, with the exception of one vacancy in a PE position. So we did it. The district has filled most of the vacancies so that we can put credentialed teachers in front of our students every day. And then finally, personnel continues to process other things from the summer because our YCTA members, a lot of them went out and did a lot of summer learning. So the district's processing those units so that they can move forward on the salary schedule. And the district's also processing the additional years of experience that many of our members now can get credit for, because part of our settlement was to offer credit for all years of experience to value the fact that if you're a 20-year veteran, you come with some extra skills. So we appreciate that personnel is processing all of those requests as quickly as they can. We acknowledge that they're busy right now. It's a busy time of year. And we look forward to having a new assistant personnel as we all work through all of the challenges that begin with this school year. So thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to comments from board members. Anyone?
Once again, I'll talk about painting Yuba City High School with the new logo across the front of the gymnasium. Looks pretty awesome. I like it. I drove by and we double take. I saw they finished up the work last week. It looks great.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I have just a question real quick. I live really close to Lanecrest Elementary School, and it's a concern for me that Phillips is so jam-packed, because now that the neighborhood gates aren't open ever for kids to come and go, and parents can pick up kids on different blocks. And it's all just on Phillips, which is a very narrow 2-lane street. And I'm just, you know, it's been worrisome to me. I understand, I think those gates were closed during COVID, but they haven't been reopened, and I think it would alleviate some of the traffic jam that happens on Phillips if those neighborhood gates were opened again.
Any other comments? Member Dunn, did you have any comments? Comments from the superintendent?
No, I think it's been a great start of the school year. Yes, it's been very busy. I appreciate, we have had to make some changes because of low enrollment. And so I do appreciate working with YCTA to work with our staff. It's never easy after the school year starts to have to move. And so I think that the staff has been great to work with, not what they had anticipated. And again, we thought TK would be larger than our enrollment currently shows. So, but we are, again, every day we've been checking enrollment, and it continues to go up. We'll give a report at the next meeting, which will be after Labor Day. So we should have a good idea of where we sit in terms of our enrollment. So, but thank you.
Thank you. Definitely want to express gratitude for the flexibility and commitment as everyone starts the school year. And it's not even just TK and K, you know.
Everyone.
All sorts of kids. They show up or they don't show up, and you never really know until their bottoms are in the chairs. So it's tough. Our next board meeting is September 12th, open session at 7 p.m. But we do have a meeting Thursday, of course, August 24th, for our governance training with CSBA. What time is that?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock Thursday. So I'll see you all the day after tomorrow. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, second.
On a motion by member Lamb and a second by member Dami to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.